What's up, guys? Shaz here, and welcome back to another Rants and Review. So it's been a while since I've made one of these, so I hope you guys can apologize if I sound a little like wrong or I didn't like say things properly. But the topic I wanted to talk about, and you might have noticed from the title, is about Call of Duty. So for those who don't know Call of Duty, and if you don't, I'm surprised that you don't. Call of Duty is one of the oldest gaming franchises known to like any kid or adult who's ever played it. It's a game franchise that has been going strong for 20 years and they've been making a lot of like really great games. Some are bad, some are good. Not they're not all winners, but most of them can be enjoyed and some actually enjoy it even if they're bad. But what I wanted to talk about was that Call of Duty isn't what it was like 20 years ago or 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you would be having fun with your friends playing any other Call of Duty like Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2, or like you would also enjoy games like Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3. Every COD was something that was enjoyable. But after Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty has been on the decline because it's because of the way we the players and the developers of the game have been acting out. So every year nowadays, Call of Duty shows up with a new game. They don't even like try to give it one game a chance. They directly go like give one game a few season passes, a roadmaps, and then they move on to the next one, making most of these games unusable, unplayable, broken, or outright garbage. So, for those who haven't realized by now, Call of Duty has gone into this sad state of releasing unfinished content. Now, when I say unfinished, I'm not talking about like the games are broken or the lobby servers aren't working well. That actually happens sometimes, only I think in Vanguard. But what I'm talking about is the lack of content in terms of map design, maps, game modes, player emblems, or anything that would make what Call of Duty was. The game has been on the serious decline because the devs have been really lazy with making any new content for Call of Duty. Most of the times you will be getting remade maps, maps that were on like betas but were like removed for like later season updates. And worst of all is that the players have been allowing it for a while. We, the players, have been allowing Activision Blizzard to be releasing remade maps every like 2 months just because we thought that it was okay. Not only was that like a dumb thing from every player, we also allowed them to basically ruin the game by only giving us very low content. You would be getting two maps every 2 months with like four old game modes. Activision has gone to the point where they've made game modes like Infected and Gun Game a special seasonal like update. Like really, the game modes that were like available on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 or 2, like on day one, are now considered as seasonal updates or like seasonal content. It's kind of like there's stuff like this that is gonna like ruin the franchise. But the worst part is that the players haven't talked about it until now. Since Modern Warfare 2022 has released their season 2 maps, players have been a lot of YouTubers and a lot of like pro core players have been deciding to leave the multiplayer franchise. Multiplayer is something that was basically the bread and butter of Call of Duty. It's what made the franchise famous. It was what like a lot of people enjoyed about the games. But now the fact that there's Warzone, Activision has been really like lazy with their multiplayer content. They release reused maps and call it a day. They used only, and they're not even like releasing a large amount. They release two maps. One might be a new map with a lot of bugs and glitches, and the other would be a remake of an older version. Right now, recently they just released Dome from Modern Warfare 3. Like they aren't even bothering making new maps. They're just remaking old ones and saying that that one old map is gonna count as one of the new seasonal maps. And because the fan base was so lenient with these remakes and these reuses of maps, Activision actually thought that they could reuse Museum as a new like seasonal map. Museum, if you don't know, Museum was in like the alpha version of the game during the beta stage, and a lot of people played it, but it was gone due to copyright issues. But not only did Activision bring it back in like the season 2, they said that that now counts as a new map. Like that's the level of laziness they've gone for content for players. Not only are they gonna be using like older maps, they're not even gonna be they're gonna use maps they already designed and say that that's also gonna count as like a new seasonal map. This type of stuff has happened to a lot of maps. Shipment has been ripped off several times. Nuketown has been used in every Black Ops game that ever came out. Even Vanguard has like Shipment again. There's also old maps. Like they don't bother making new maps, and then when they do, they only include two of them. Like if you're gonna include old maps, do a bunch of them. If you're gonna add Dome, add Terminal as well. Add I don't know, Fallen, Village, different maps from different Call of Duty games. Add every if you're gonna like if you wanna like make the franchise happy, if you wanna make sure that your base game, your multiplayer game isn't dying, you need to add basic stuff. Why don't you add every map from Modern Warfare 2? Add Afghan again. Afghan was fun. People enjoyed it. Why don't you use that? I don't know actually if people enjoyed Afghan, but you know what I'm trying to say. Also, what's worse is the fact that the game modes. Recently, they've in the season two, they've been gonna release six like total game modes. Three of them are gonna be in the start, and three of them are gonna be like in between seasons. But the problem is that those game modes aren't even new game modes. They're all old. They're all old party games, and even hardcore was considered a new game mode. Before it was tier one, which was a garbage game mode. No one enjoyed it, but now even hardcore was considered like a new game mode for a seasonal content, which really annoys me because it's like really that was a game mode people were requesting in season one, a game mode that should have been in season one. But Activision and Blizzard were so lazy that they decided that hey, we're gonna add that as a new seasonal game mode. Not only that, there's also the issue of hackers. So for those who don't know, there's a site called Engine Owning who are selling hacks to anyone who wants them, and you have to actually buy them. They're not like free hacks. You actually get to buy those hacks. And what's worse is that some people are desperate and pathetic enough to actually buy that stuff. Like, and it's worse that the engine owning have like a Twitter where they're actually like advertising that they're selling cheats for 30% off, or like saying stuff like, "Oh, you're gonna get advantage if you buy from us." Like, first of all, anyone who buys from them is pathetic. If you can't play the game, don't play it. There's 100 games that you could play. There's 100 single players you can play without ruining it for everyone else. Also, for the guys who are making these hacks, I really hope that you must have been bullied in your life, because there's a level of pathetic that I didn't know you could fall to. To be proud of calling selling hacks and saying that it's an advantage. Engine owning is like one of the worst sites I've watched, and their Twitter is even worse because they're like promoting their hacks and acting like it's something okay to do. What's worse is I'm surprised Activision Bungie aren't active. I'm saying Bungie, Activision Blizzard aren't like attacking or like suing these guys. Like we've seen game devs actually go after hackers and like cheaters for like harming their games. Bungie went after that guy who was like doing fake copyrights of their game. Rockstar literally made a manhunt out of the guy who stole their GTA 6 code. So I'm surprised no one is like even trying to find these guys. Like these guys were selling your game hacks early on in the beta. They were able to crack your code early on, which also brings me to Ricochet, which is like kind of proving right now that it is one of the most pathetic anti-cheats you've ever seen. These guys were able to hack your new game in beta phase right on early and were already advertising their hacks. Like you guys could have like stopped all of this if you actually cared about your games. But of course, Activision and Blizzard don't care about the game. They care about the money, and we fans have been allowing them. They only care about what bundle they're gonna release, or what character skin, or what stupid footballer we're gonna have to like buy. So I feel like it's both our fault as the players that we've endured this so long without ever speaking out against it, and the devs who've been allowing it. So if we want to fix this, we need to like talk about it and like stop Call of Duty from like dying out, because it's gonna be another Halo game if we like let Activision or Blizzard keep going on with it. But alright guys, if you guys agree with me, please like and subscribe, and I hope Call of Duty gets better because I really like it as a franchise, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.